Part 3. Man, a being in search of meaning. Plato. Chapter 18. The morning sunlight reflected off the hood of the speeding turbo cruiser, sending a small rainbow of colours shimmering along the windshield. At the wheel, Robo stared vacantly at the twisting, turning streets of the city. He was out of old Detroit now, heading for the suburbs. He was experiencing something deep within him, a sense of loss, but also of gain. He wanted something. He needed something. He just couldn't deduce exactly what it was. It was almost as if he were being guided by a higher force, a program he had not yet become aware of. He slowed the car down as he approached the street sign reading Primrose Lane. He guided the cruiser down the block-long row of prefabricated houses. Each house was identical, but for the colour and the condition. He pulled the car up in front of a weathered beige home, 3128 Primrose. He slowly got out of the car and faced the abode. The front lawn was small and overgrown. He could sense that, at one time, it had been well kept. A for sale sign was hammered into the ground haphazardly. He walked past the picket fence. The white paint was chipping off the gate. A damp spring breeze rustled through a lone tree on the lawn. The sky darkened, the sun disappeared. It smelled like rain. Thunder rumbled far off in the distance. Robo walked up to the front door and turned the knob. It was open. He pushed the door inward, tentatively. It felt familiar somehow. He peered in through the darkness. The house was small but sensibly designed. Walls were covered with built-in smart appliances. It was an ideal electronic cottage. It beat the hell out of sleeping in a holding cell. Robo mused over that last thought. What was that? Humour? He grimaced. Humour had never occurred to him before. He must try it more often. He took 3 powerful steps inside. The house lit up. Music filled the air. Startled, Robo turned and noticed that, near the front door, a comm unit was positioned in the wall. A monitor, a phone, a command keyboard. The monitor flickered to life, and the face of a sweating, middle-aged man with a bad toupee and a frozen smile appeared on the screen. The Interspace Network logo superimposed itself over the smiling salesman's face. Robo watched the salesman adjust his badly made bow tie. "Welcome, shopper," said the pre-recorded spiel. "Let's take a stroll through your new home." Robo frowned and walked away. It didn't help. The voice of the salesman boomed everywhere. Robo entered the empty living room. A monitor screen in that room belched to life. "This is a one-family house built by ZM Industries. Situated near schools and shopping centres, this progressive community has a growth factor of..." The voice receded into the background as Robo stared at the empty room. Something was wrong with his vision. He extended a hand and leaned against the wall as ghostly images shimmered before him. The room was now filled with furniture. A barely discernible little boy sat, cross-legged, in front of a blaring television screen. The boy. He had seen that boy before. Robo gazed at the apparition. On the ghostly TV screen, a badly made-up policeman blasted a villain into bits. He then twirled his guns around and slipped them easily into his holster. The phantom boy turned and faced Robo. "Neat, huh, Dad?" Robo felt a rush of... He couldn't identify the feeling. He wanted to laugh, but he didn't know how. Tears were alien to him as well. The ghostly little boy waited for a response. With none forthcoming, he turned and faced the TV again. Quietly, the phantom room faded away. Robo was left standing against the wall of a very empty cubicle. Confused, Robo entered the abandoned kitchen. "Honey?" he heard a female voice say. He turned and watched a phantom kitchen appear. The kitchen comm unit began belching. "And say, it doesn't matter who cooks in your family, because this kitchen, by food concepts, makes everything a snap." Robo stifled the urge to put his fist through the blathering monitoring screen. He stared at the kitchen table. A mirage of place settings and steaming food materialized. He stared at the microwave oven. A very pretty woman stood there, a cup of coffee in hand. "Need an extra boost before you roll, copper?" she smiled. Robo fought back a cry of anguish. What was he feeling? Something was being hidden from him. The cry that churned deep within his chest was anything but a part of his program. It was something dark, something primordial, something real. He staggered to a counter, reeling under the impact of this latest hallucination. He spotted a coffee cup on the counter. Was it solid, or was it a product of his malfunctioning brain? He tentatively extended a charred steel hand. He wrapped 2 fingers around the cup and lifted it. There was writing on it. Old, faded. World-class husband. Grief-stricken, he replaced the cup on the counter with a little too much force. The handle broke off in his hand. Robo walked down the hallway leading to the bedroom. A hallway monitor screen flickered. The omnipresent shill smiled at Robo, talking fast. "Short on cash? With master budget financing, your earning power is your equity. We manage your income so that you can manage your life." "Fuck off!" Robo snarled, marching into the bedroom. Shafts of stormy grey light streamed into the windows. Robo imagined that, on sunny days, this room must have been beautiful. 4 full-length mirrors must have made it seem bigger than it actually was. The salesman was now in the corner, blathering full tilt. "Ah, the master bedroom. Functional space with a touch of elegance." Robo watched a queen-size bed appear. Flowers on an end table. The woman from the kitchen strolled in through the room, clad in a robe. "Jimmy needs new clothes for school," she said, her voice echoing in Robo's mind. "And the Websters want us to come to their party." She faced Robo and smiled. God, what a beautiful smile she had. And those eyes. "Hey," she said. "You look sexy in that shirt." She dropped her robe and headed into the bathroom. Robo followed. He watched the ghostly woman step into a steaming shower. The woman began to sing softly to herself. A little melody, nothing special, slightly off-key. To Robo, however, it sounded as sweet as a symphony. Robo turned and caught a glimpse of himself in the bathroom mirror. What was he, anyway? He saw the eyes peeking out from beneath his face visor. They were human. They were real. He raised a blackened steel hand. But this, what was this? Cold, unfeeling metal. What kind of aberration was he? Flesh and blood and steel. It didn't seem right. It didn't seem natural. It didn't seem good. A monitor next to the bathroom mirror zapped on. "Hey, have you thought it all over? Why not make me an offer? I'm ready to make a deal." "Deal with this," Robo growled. He sent a steel fist slamming into the monitor. A shower of sparks erupted from the guts of the comm unit. The music, which had followed him throughout the house, sputtered to a stop. The lights in the house dimmed and then went out. Robo walked through the house of dreams and headed for the front door. A wave of sounds flooded his mind. The woman singing, the TV blaring, the little boy laughing, coffee percolating, a phone, a kiss, a sigh. Robo ran out of the front door and found himself staring up into an angry sky. Rain began to fall in sheets. The sky rumbled, lightning cracked. Bolts flew through space in rapid succession. Robo theorized that they were affecting his circuitry. He was beginning to hallucinate again. A flash of lightning, the face of little Emile from the gas station. Another flash, there was Joe, another bolt, Chan, and another, Leon, and another, Clarence Bodiker. Robo raised his arms in a cross before him, to ward off the wind and the howling banshees dancing across the sky. Suddenly, he was staring at a cross in a cemetery. He heard sobbing. He squinted at the cross. There were words on its base. Alex Murphy, beloved husband and father, R.I.P. "What do you want from me?" he whispered into the swirling rain. He heard the faint echo of distant sobbing. The woman and the boy. The ghosts. Robo emitted a guttural noise, the sound of an animal in pain, and dashed for the car. He sat behind the wheel and shook. And when he was done, he shook some more.